Show of hands. Do you think you fit in back in the middle school days? I'm sure most of us have at least a few good memories of those simpler times. It's where kids started trying to get away from all the kiddie stuff and started acting a certain way to impress their friends. Well, at least that's how it always seemed to me. I remember how important it seemed to be cool or badass or funny or even just normal. Words like weird or dumb, and pussy would carry over through many grade levels and held so much weight for some reason. But that's how I describe myself too. Seemed to be the consensus at least. Seemed wrong to think that all of these people were wrong. So I did my best to adapt, to recreate myself into the person that I thought would be cool or badass or normal. All of a sudden, it mattered what pants I wore or what music I listened to. Even my opinions had to follow a certain rubric or risk being called a poser. Now, my mom was quick to point out how ridiculous it was to change oneself for the sake of others and refused to fund my constant wardrobe changes. Of course, she didn't have a clue about it. This was important. One day as I was walking home, I saw a pair of old shoes on someone's rock wall fence. I had no idea what kind of shoes they were, but I recognized that swoosh. These shoes are cool, I thought. I'll fix them up and people will be like, whoa, those are dope. As long as they ignored the worn out soles, of course. I don't think I ever worked harder on anything else in my life. I got those shoes looking pretty much brand new. I remember going through a whole bottle of white shoe polish and even cleaning the laces. All of this after a good washing or two, of course. And let me tell you, I flipped those sons of bitches back to store quality. All in all, these shoes were a slam dunk find. If it wasn't for the fact that they were almost 2 sizes too small for my feet. So what? They're gonna love them, I thought. So I wore them. And they loved them. They really did think they were cool. Now, I was still weird, but now I had an in, a thing that didn't require my personality to be on display at all. From now on, the shoes would do the talking. And the talk was good. For a while, at least. More than a few weeks passed by, for sure. My feet were killing me. Mostly my big toes. They'd been getting jammed against the front of the shoe, trying to burst to the top for some air. My other toes weren't doing so hot either, begging not to be forced together for such a long period of time. My white socks start to get small bloodstains on them, which turn into bigger spots as the days pass. Turns out, the nails in my toes were starting to grow into the flesh itself. Ingrown toenails, they call them. Pretty soon I couldn't even walk barefoot without bleeding. Bye-bye shoes. Hello, pediatrist. Then surgery. 8 nail removals. Pinkies were in the clear, though. I had to wear open-toed sandals and socks for a few weeks, and I was let out of class early to avoid any accidental stompings. Everyone thought it was funny. And I guess it was. Silly situation more than anything. Easily avoidable. The whole experience really taught me something important. You can't make people love you. Or even like you for that matter. Just like forcing your foot into a shoe that is too small, eventually your body will reject it like a bad organ, forcing you to be yourself again. And that's all any of us get to work with, isn't it? Ourselves. Being cool, badass, funny, normal. How is it that we can give so much weight to these labels when we completely dismiss the person that's giving out that weight? Us. It took me a long time to look myself in the mirror and say, you're enough. When's the last time you did? All my opinion.